One of the toughest things to do in all of college football is win on the road. When you're a ranked team going into a hostile environment, these fans are ready to knock them off course. Welcome to Chapel Hill, North Carolina, Keenan Memorial Stadium, the home of the North Carolina Tar Heels. As we'll see the national champions from last year, the Ohio State Buckeyes, taking on a team from the ACC, the North Carolina Tar Heels. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, joined here in the booth, as always, by David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. Guys, let's tee this one up. The Buckeyes will get us started with the opening kickoff. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. They're going to test that run defense to the right here. Defense in the right spot. They stop him after a gain of 2 to the 28.
And the defense doing a great job committing to the run. When you commit to the run like this, obviously you can give up some plays in the passing game, but you got to stop the run first.
Got 3 on first down. It's 2nd and 7. Lopez to pass. Makes the grab. They make the stop, but he'll have enough yardage for a first down. That was a nice pickup, running the drag route and finding that quiet, soft spot in the zone.
Yeah, drag routes not only work against man coverage, they work against zone too. If you can find the soft spot and the quarterback gets it to him early, he can turn upfield, and you saw that right there.
Looking to throw on first down. Finds a man on the left. Now they're starting to feel it. They've got a first down at the 44.
You know, this offense has a ton of speed at wide receiver, and they can generate explosive plays throwing it down the field. It's not just going to be go routes and post throws. How about executing the corner route against man-to-man coverage?
And the Tar Heels have it with a 1st and 10. They'll leave it with him. Got the first down. Looking for more. Good execution. They move the sticks, and they've got it at the 33.
Wow. 4 plays on this drive by the offense. They already got 3 first downs. We knew they had a lot of playmakers coming into this game, and they're showing that right now. This defense is going to have to make a play at some point here and stop the bleeding.
Oh, he had it right down the middle, and it just squirted right through his fingers, and they miss an opportunity for a nice play on first down. Plenty of work to do here on 2nd and long. After the incompletion, they go back up top. Right on target this time. And he'll haul it in and take it to the end zone. Touchdown, Tar Heels!
Quarterback's abilities to read the field is huge, and also the anticipation, the timing. To be able to throw the football, Jesse, and hit a guy in stride so he can get run after the catch and get in the end zone, that was a nice job by the quarterback.
Yeah, it's critical, David. And listen, a lot of times touchdown passes aren't thrown into the end zone. You've got to read the coverage, hit the open guy, and let him do the rest.
Getting ready for the extra point after the first score of the game. And the extra point makes it 7-0. So that scoring drive took only 6 plays. And they finished things off with a scoring toss from the 33. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. bringing it out. Rolling the dice to bring it out of the end zone did not work out as he stopped at the 13. Looking for space, it's Peoples. Not much there, they'll give him one to the 14. Let's talk just for a second about Ohio State. They've climbed into the top 25. Nothing has been given to these guys, but they're quickly becoming a problem for everybody else.
Well, they are, and they earned that number beside their name. They've played really, really well. The question is now, can you keep it? David, how many times in the past have we seen a team outside the top 25 finally get ranked?
Intercepted, and that total goes to 16. Didn't get a ton on the return, but they've got it inside the 20 at the 19-yard line.
Man, that's not the attempt you wanted to start the game. First pass of the game, interception. Man, just this is where you go over the sidelines. You have a good talk with your coach. You settle down. It's not the end of the world. It's one pass, but that is not the start he had in mind today.
The North Carolina offense returns to the field. Already a solid start to this one. Now back to work with this 7-0 lead. Leaves it with the back. Doing damage on the ground as he runs it down to the 11-yard line.
Listen, you got to be able to know what play to call and what hole to go through. Like the line blocks for a certain hole. Good job getting through the hole, getting what was blocked, getting a nice positive gain, making your situation really good on the next down.
Going to work on second down in the red zone is still some ground to cover to pick up that first down. Right back to it. Lowers those pads. And he runs it in for the score. Touchdown, North Carolina. A quick strike, just as we expected.
Yeah, and quick strikes are easy when you got such great field position. Obviously, when the offense starts in such a good spot, puts the defense in a bad position, and the offense takes advantage.
They'll try to tack one more on their score. And with the extra point, they push the lead out a little further. They got the ball in great field position, and bam, bam, 2 plays and into the end zone. He'll return it. I know he thinks he can house every return, but sometimes you just have to take a knee as he stopped at the 14. First play of this drive comes from the 14-yard line. To the air, it's Sayin. Fires to the wideout. Pulls it in. A little more space. Open up that playbook even more as they pick up the first down out to the 30.
That's a great job getting the first down by that guy. He's a big-time weapon. He's got the speed. He's got everything you look for in a wide receiver. And it's funny, you think about Ohio State football. Back in the day, Woody Hayes running the ball 3 yards in a cloud of dust. But recently, they've been recruiting playmakers at the receiving position because this offense has changed. It's now up-tempo. They're now throwing the ball vertically down the field, and they've had so many guys go in the first round in recent years. This dude right here fits that mold to a T. Love watching this guy play.
Offense lines up for a 1st and 10 from the 43. Holds and fires complete to the right. Found a little bit of room to operate, but he'll be stopped just short of the 1st down. Guys, let's talk for a minute about Ohio State. I'm sure you guys saw this. One of the top running backs in the country, 5-star guy, gave a verbal commitment last week. What's the expectation for him as soon as he hits campus?
I mean, you don't get 5 stars very often, and you get 5 stars for a reason because you are a dude. He is a man-child. They want to get him in the door now. They wish they could already have him signed, but the excitement is going to really build for this young man.
This running back loves running into the teeth of the defense. In between the tackles, he keeps a low pad level, and he's got some speed.
And the Buckeyes will line it up on 1st and 10. Touch pass on the jet sweep. He's there to make the stop, and they threw it in reverse, losing yardage on that play.
Great heads-up awareness by the cornerback on that play. He saw the receiver get the ball. He shot downhill and made a nice tackle.
The Buckeyes trying to find their way forward after the big loss on the last play. Looking downfield, it's Sayin. Caught over the middle, it's Donaldson. He's there to make the stop, but the damage has been done as they pick up the 1st down on the throw and catch.
I like the running back there on the route and the patience he showed, really setting it up. He got to the defender, was able to put his foot in the ground, get some separation, catch it, and turn upfield for the 1st.
Leaves it with the running back.
And if I'm the running back, I'm going to be like, listen, hold on. Can you give me something? Can you give me some space to try to make somebody miss and not have another guy right next to me? I'm giving the offensive line an earful. I need some holes, need some space up front. They got to do a better job.
Got some work to do after that last play. 2nd and 13. Wants to go up top. Under fire. Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face 3rd down.
What a play by the defender that time, because he's matched up one-on-one man coverage against an outstanding wide receiver, and it's the defender who makes the play. Really, really good position. He was up to the challenge. Be interesting to see if this quarterback goes his way again.
The Buckeyes need a massive chunk play to move the sticks here on 3rd down. Looking to throw, and he needs a bunch. Fires downfield. He makes a catch. And this defense has its work cut out to get this dude on the ground. He was shedding serious tackles on his way to picking up the 1st.
1st and goal, Ohio State.
Now the challenge here, they've taken a punch, but they can't let it get out of hand as we start the 2nd. They'll try to open the quarter by cashing in on this big opportunity deep in the red zone. They'll keep it on the ground for 1st and goal. He'll be brought down at the 5-yard line, and this defense is on its heels.
Listen, the offensive coordinator's best friend in the red zone is the running game. Make guys commit near the line of scrimmage so I can throw behind. This defense is good, but I'm going to challenge them. I'm going to try to be the more physical team. I love the play call. I think you keep running the football and stay physical.
And he'll get this one back to the line of scrimmage, but no farther than that.
It's looking like they're going to have to throw this one in now on third down, David. And you know the execution just has to be spot on. Timing, especially at the quarterback position here.
And thinking about the defense, they're aggressive in these situations. They're going to play man. They're going to play uptight on you. So I know that. Now how do I counterpunch and attack this defense?
He is stopped short. That's the man they wanted to have the ball, but it'll be fourth down.
Man, it has been a long drive offensively. I just feel like you got to pay this off and be aggressive. You're down close. Punch it in for a touchdown here, Pollard.
Yeah, and inside the 3-yard line, I think I might try to finish this off with a touchdown. I ate up a ton of clock, wore these guys out. Now they'd have to go the length of the field if I missed.
And the offense doesn't bat an eye. They'll stay on the field and try to score from the one on fourth down. Back to throw, it's Sayin. Touchdown, Ohio State! The finisher, the exclamation point on that drive. Big-time touchdown there to get some much-needed momentum.
You got to find something, right? Who you going to go to make that big play to get you back into it? You're not back in it yet. It's not tied. You're not there yet, but you're starting to inch back into it and get some momentum going.
The kickoff unit is out there, and boy, did that last drive quiet this crowd. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. Use the play fake. Now to throw. Gonna let it fly. And they can't make the connection, going for a big play on first down.
Yeah, I don't know if the quarterback got confused on first down. He might have thought the defense was going to be in man coverage that time, but they were in zone. They fooled him and just didn't seem like he had his eyes in the right place, was forcing that ball to his intended target. The window way too small. The guy was not open, so that didn't have that chance to be complete.
Last incompletion leaves them still sitting at their own 25 with 2nd and 10. Back to pass. Unloads to the wideout. Just too much juice on that one as he airmails his receiver out of bounds. Probably the toughest call on the play sheet. 3rd and long. Ball's at the 25. Trying play action. And he got smacked just as he released the pass. It's incomplete.
Well, the defense finally has figured it out. That was critical for their confidence because they had been scored on earlier. They had given up a ton of yards. I think they understood the gravity of the situation. 3rd down, that was critical for them to get off the field, build momentum, build some confidence. Nice job that time by the defense.
Just a wall of defenders everywhere he looks, and he's guided out of bounds after a short return. They'll start this drive at their own 48. Looking to throw, it's Sayin. Oh, he wants it all. And they won't make the connection, looking to make a big play there.
Well, this defense was ready for go bust. Against this receiver and his speed, he's one of the fastest in the country. They knew this quarterback was going to try to take the top off the defense. That time they couldn't link up, but if you're on defense, just know they're going to try that play again.
2nd down, they'll go to the air. Finds a tight end. He's close to the first down, but they're going to mark him just a little short.
Well, you hear all the time that the tight end's the QB's best friend. You saw a perfect example of it on that last play, right? Second down, you need to pick up some positive yards to keep this third down manageable. Really nice job of executing that.
And the Buckeyes are at the line trying to move the sticks on 3rd and short. They'll throw on 3rd and short. Right on the money. That'll be enough for the first down as they mark it down at the 31-yard line. 3rd and short, and I guess the only thing they really took out of play in the shotgun was the quarterback sneak.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I like to do, Reese. I mean, 3rd and inches, I want to run the quarterback sneak, run the football, but this team fully comfortable throwing the football, and you see why. Easy pitch, easy catch, first down.
Looking to throw on 1st down. Grabbed over the middle. It's Graham. Makes the grab almost to the 1st down marker, but a good pickup on that one.
Slant routes, they're good against man coverage, but they're good against zone coverage too. If that receiver can find the soft spot between the linebacker and the DB, he'll take that throw all day.
Toss to the outside. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
Well, they're trying to run the football there, just nowhere to go. They got dominated up front at the point of attack.
The Buckeyes really need to keep this drive alive on 3rd down. They'll try to power their way ahead. Got enough to move the sticks. 1st down from the 17.
Well, this offense is sending a little bit of a message here. Of course, we know how much they've struggled on 3rd down all season long. They're just never able to seem to get into a rhythm. But after that last running play, moving the sticks, you just wonder what that does for their confidence.
The Buckeyes look to keep this drive humming. Here's the handoff. And this one will be stopped for no gain.
And you hear about run blitzes. This is exactly what a run blitz is. When you know the ball's coming up the middle, you want to bring those linebackers, get them closer to the line of scrimmage, and fire. Right when the ball snapped, he's coming downhill, doing a good job creating the loss. That linebacker really knew what was going on.
Looking for a man. It's Sayin. Touchdown, Buckeyes! Grabbed in the end zone to put 6 on the board.
One of the areas they really focused on with this receiver in the offseason was we need you to make more plays for us in the end zone. When we're taking shots, we need you to be able to step up and make tough catches. And David, what a grab right there.
And I think a lot of that has to do with trusting your guy, knowing where he's going to be, knowing when he's going to sit down, when he's not. So being on the same page, and then having a guy that can go get it. Just when the ball is near him, he's going to make the play, just like he did right there for 6 points.
Let's see if they can get something going here late in the half. On the run, it's Goss. Banging, slithering, whatever it takes to get that ball up to the 32.
And winning 1st downs is a priority for a defense, and you can't get bludgeoned. You can't get physically beat at the point of attack. You know the percentages. It's usually pretty good on 1st down that they're going to run the football. So them getting that big chunk, getting in 2nd and short, not a good job by this defense.
The Tar Heels with myriad options after that big pickup on 1st down. Back to pass on 2nd down. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact on the play, but no flags. It'll be 3rd down.
Not many receivers like to get hit. They just don't, okay? They're prima donnas. That's what they are. That's who they are. Nice job by the defender. You could tell he was catching the football. He was going to put a hit on him to make sure he had to think about something later, and you could see the ball pop out and fall to the ground.
And the Tar Heels come to the line on 3rd and short, trying to convert here. Lopez wants to fire. Throws to the wideout. Makes the grab. And he's brought down after a nice gain.
And listen, the defense knew coming into this one, they were going to target him early and often. He is a weapon, and there's no mystery where the quarterback's going to be looking on critical down and distances. Let's see how they're able to cover him.
Lofts one high and deep. And they won't be able to connect downfield, looking for a big-time play.
And we've already seen this movie early in this football game, and he already has a touchdown, and they're seeking him again. And there's a reason. He can run, right? Like, he's one of their go-to guys on the outside, and you can tell they're trying to use him early and often in this offense.
Plenty of distance between them and the sticks here on second down. Looking to throw again. Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face third down.
And that pressure got to him quick. I mean, you talk about you want your quarterback to feel comfortable. Man, he didn't have time to feel comfortable. He didn't have time to get his feet set and get in the ground. This offensive line's got to do a better job.
It'll be third and long. From the gun, wants to pass. Oh, they really could have used that catch there. Physical pass defense. It brings up a fourth down. The Tar Heels will line up to punt it away. This will be the second time they've had to kick it away. A low line drive and not his best work. Fair catch called for and made around the 20-yard line. Plenty of time to work, not any time to waste as they take over here in the final 2 minutes of the half. These corners going to give them some space. Back to pass, it's Sayin. Fires to the wideout. Intercepted. A first half turnover can swing momentum. And he's wrapped up after a solid return on the pick.
This is obviously not a great start for this quarterback here. 2 interceptions already in this game. He's got to do a much better job with his decision-making.
North Carolina has it back, and the Tar Heels so pleased to send the offense back out. After a punt on their last possession, they are set up in plus territory this time. Pass rush coming after the quarterback, and they get him at the 32.
I love the defensive effort there. They didn't get him right away. They stayed after him. He was scrambling, going backwards. They get the sack on the first play of the drive.
The offense changing the play. Wants to throw. He's working against the clock. A shot toward the end zone. And that ball was in harm's way, and he is lucky to get that one back.
Oh, what a missed opportunity for that interception. Yes, I know he gets the pass breakup, but he had a chance to finish things off, and he really didn't get it done. But there's a reason he plays defense. You know, they put the guys on offense that can actually catch.
Third play of the drive, and they need to take advantage of this field position by making something happen on third and long. Looking downfield, and he needs a bunch. Touchdown, UNC! They went for the big play, and boy, did it ever pay off.
And the offense breaks the tie, takes the lead, gains some momentum. How big is this, Palmer, now? Going into the half with the lead, with the momentum.
Well, they break the tie, but they also break their confidence a little bit now. The opponent now has to go into the locker room probably down, and they're wondering, what adjustments do we have to make? What do we have to fix? Because we've got our work cut out for us in this game.
PAT unit on the field. And with the extra point, the score is now 21-14. We check in with Kevin Connors. What's going on, Kevin?
Week to week, it's so tough to figure the Mountain West, which is why this one is notable. San Jose State has the lead right now, but if this team has taught us anything over the years, it's that no lead is safe inside Old Spartan Stadium. They're up by a field goal over San Diego State. The moment something changes in this Mountain West fight, you will hear about it here. Back to you guys.
And how about that one? Kevin will be keeping an eye on everything going on elsewhere. Here we go. They'll try to get something on the board here in the final minute of the first half. Looking to throw, it's Sayin. Time to take a shot. And that one falls incomplete. They tried to go over the top on first down. Second down coming up.
And it's funny, right before that play, I'm thinking to myself, I wonder if this offense is just going to play conservative here with the field position, the fact they haven't scored a ton of points so far in this game, and just run the ball and take it into halftime. No, they're being aggressive, and not just that. They're taking deep shots way down the field, but give the defense credit. They were ready for it, forcing that incompletion.
Looking downfield very late in the half. This time on target. We got a timeout here late in the first half, and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break.
Nice job there. Good timing between the QB and the wide receiver executing that out route.
And the Buckeyes come to the line on third and short, trying to keep the drive alive. Timeout called here by the defense. It's the first one they've used this half. The Buckeyes come to the line on third and short, hoping to keep the drive alive. On third and short, they'll try to convert through the air. Caught in the backfield, it's Peoples. They'll mark him out of bounds at about the 29-yard line.
Man, you blitz me, I'm getting the ball out of my hands. Really good job understanding that by the offensive coordinator, this quarterback, seeing the blitz, getting the ball to a playmaker, letting him do some damage. And more importantly, I don't have to throw it way down the field. Just get the first down.
Scanning the field, it's Sayin. Looking for a deep man. Grabs it inside the 10. They make the stop at the 5-yard line, but they've got it first and goal. Timeout called by the offense, and now they just have one remaining in the half. Time dwindling away as they try to put points on the board right before the half. Snaps it in the shotgun. Lets it go to the end zone. Touchdown, Ohio State. Quick strike through the air for the score.
Every coach in the country talks about finishing half strong. Man, how about that? You get the touchdown, a chance to tie this game up and take all the momentum into halftime.
And right down the middle. And that extra point was good, and we're all tied up here in the second. He'll bring it out. It's Robinson. Pulled down at the 18, and the decision to bring it out of the end zone was not a good one. Get off a play before we head to halftime. An unforced error there. They don't get the snap off in time. So the decision has been made, and the coach will take the penalty.
Single. Here we go.
From the gun, the running back has it. After that one, not quite so backed up as they're up to the 18-yard line. First half in the books. Time now to join Kevin Connors in our halftime update. And the Tar Heels will kick it away to crank up the second half. And here's the return. Not a lot of space to be found. Good hustle by the coverage team, and they stop him at the 21. Looking to throw, it's Sayin. That's caught, it's Peoples. And the defense settled in to stop that one for a short gain. They were able to get the ball to the running back in space, but that space just evaporated.
And a great job by the defense, man. It's tough to get those guys on the ground. They're so used to having the football as running backs and making plays and being dynamic. So usually one guy not going to get into the ground. You want many guys swarming to the football, trying to get that elusive guy on the ground.
They'll go to work in the air on second down. Makes the grab. It's Graham. Didn't pick up a lot there. Moved it forward just a few.
And I tell you what, when you drop back and you know you got that slot work in the middle of the field and you know how fast he is, you just wait for him to come open, throw that strike, and you know he'll take care of the rest. Nice throw, nice catch.
They'll try to get the first through the air. Grab near the marker. It's Donaldson. And he's got enough for the first down. They'll mark it at the 34.
Love the third down call. Throwing the angle route to your back, working one-on-one against that defender. Easy pitch and catch for the first.
Shoots it to the left. Complete downfield. He's going to be out of bounds, but not before he gets it to midfield. One of the great programs in the history of the sport, sort of built on the running game, but these days, Ohio State defined by explosive pass plays.
Yeah, and you can call yourself whatever you want. A lot of people claim different things like wide receiver U, but when you look at Ohio State in the past several years going back.
Going for the big play. Pulls it in inside the 10. They make the tackle, but he's got a fresh set of downs, and it's first and goal from the 7. He is dealing on this drive, completed all 5 throws, and now they have first and goal.
Man, who needs balance when you got a guy like this? You trust him, getting the ball back in the pocket. The ball's coming out, spreading it around the field. Nice decision-making. This drive has been surgical for this QB.
Timing has got to be so critical when you're trying to throw the ball down close like that. They didn't have great timing on that one.
Defense rolls up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a second and long coming. To the air, it's Sayin. Trying to bull his way in. Touchdown, Buckeyes! And that one will put them up here in the second half. A lot of glorious days in the history of the Buckeyes, and this might put this guy right at the top of the list for a single game.
And that list of names is incredible. Like, we could go down the list of so many guys that have been such great playmakers, so dynamic. So to think about putting yourself in that category, we're going to be talking about winning trophies, and this guy being an All-American by season's end.
Rolling the dice to bring it out of the end zone did not work out as he stopped at the 13. They'll try to put something together, backed up a bit, starting at their own 13. Wants to go up top on first down. And the defense making a play, getting a hand on that pass.
I don't know about the decision that time by the quarterback. He may have been expecting man coverage, but that time the defense was in zone, and they did a really nice job closing the window. The intended target was not open, and that's why that one fell incomplete.
locked up now. Here's 2nd and long. Looking to fire. Here's a hit. Takes a hit as he fires. That's caught. It's Johnson. Stopped after a good pickup, and he'll be just a tad short of the first down.
The number one goal as a defense is try to hit the QB as many times as possible. Try to rattle him. Try to get him flustered a little bit. Nice job getting there, getting the hit on him, but nice job of executing by the quarterback. Taking the hit, delivering the strike.
The Tar Heels line up, trying to move the sticks on 3rd and short. Lopez to pass. Quick completion on the out route. And he converts on 3rd down as he gets it out to the 26. Throw him to the spot, and that's exactly what he did to pick up the first down.
And that's so many hours of doing this together. You know exactly when he's going to break on that out route. You know what kind of speed he has because you've thrown it so many times. Nice rhythm and timing, and you could tell that was experience between receiver and quarterback.
He might want another play. Going up top again. And the defense forced that incompletion with the deflection.
Yeah, and how about the linebacker? You know, you ask him to do so much on the football field, to cover so much ground. You don't always ask him to go man-to-man, but when you do, the linebacker comes through, swats the ball to the ground.
They're dealing with a 2nd and long. Couldn't connect on 1st down, now back to the air. Unloads to the wideout. Quarterback just flat missed it. Incomplete.
This guy is very proud about his accuracy. That's why he's one of the better quarterbacks in all of college football. And that time, ball just got away from him a little bit. It's going to set up 3rd down.
Third and long, and he'll try to throw for it. Intercepted, and that is the last thing they needed. He was looking for that big return to go with the pick, but he'll set him up in business at the 36.
And he can fill up the hand now with that pick, man. That's number 5 on the season, consistently making plays for his defense. Always a guy where we're going to be calling his name over and over again.
Here comes the Ohio State offense onto the field. Last drive went for 6. We'll see if they can do it again.
You want to make play calling easy for an offensive coordinator? Run the ball like that every play. I mean, when you can run that on 1st down and set up a short yardage on 2nd down, it makes play calling easy. Every single call on that sheet is available here on 2nd down.
The Buckeyes in a good spot here with 2nd and short. They'll ride the running back and leave it with him. Knocked down after a gain of 1 to the 27.
And sticking to the run. I tell you what, a lot of teams that are really good are really stubborn, and they continue to run the football even with little success. So this offense is going to continue to focus on running the football, you can tell.
Can't make the grab, and this offense, which has been brilliant this season on 3rd down, doesn't convert this time.
And finally, the defense is able to get some pressure on this quarterback. They had been trying all game long different ways to affect him. Weren't able to get there. But on that play, because of the pressure, it affected his accuracy. That's why the ball falls incomplete.
And the Buckeyes will come to the line to convert on 4th down. Trying to keep the drive alive. There he goes. And he rolls into the house. Touchdown, Ohio State.
And this is why you consistently run the football. A steady diet because you can break the long touchdown runs. Nice job breaking through the line of scrimmage, outrunning the rest, getting in for the long touchdown.
And let's check in with Kevin Connors in the studio. Kevin?
Fellas, while we have a moment, let's peek in on what's going on in a big one in the American. UTSA is currently ahead in this one inside a jam-packed Alamo Dome, but they've struggled to really pull away. They're up by 10 over East Carolina. Ought to be fun, fellas, to see how things play out in this notable matchup in the American.
Oh, and how about that? I know Kevin and those guys will be keeping an eye on it for us. Crosses the 30 to the 31 and a 6-yard pickup.
Coaches always harp about staying ahead of the chains, and when you can run with that type of efficiency on first down, man, you are doing just that.
And the third down's coming up.
And you've seen this formula work at all levels of football. You pressure the quarterback, his numbers start to drop. He's not as efficient. Nice job by the defense.
The Tar Heels come to the line on 3rd and short, looking to keep the drive moving. In the little bit, and you know the tight end's always open.
Always open, quarterback's best friend. And this guy's a problem, Reese. He's a matchup problem because he's too big for DBs to cover, and he's too fast for linebackers to cover. He's showing you his athleticism there.
And the Tar Heels with the 1st and 10. Looking downfield on 1st down. Makes the catch. It's Johnson. Huge play there into plus territory, and they'll mark him out of bounds at the 46.
Well, it's a nice job by the tight end there. He's patient. He fights his way through all the traffic in the middle of the field, running that drag route, making it an easy completion for the quarterback.
The Tar Heels are rolling down the field. Wants to throw on 1st down. Throws to the wideout. And it was worth the gamble, but the long pass is incomplete.
Well, quarterback trying to get aggressive, trying to take a shot deep down the field, but just not on the same page with his wide receiver as the pass falls incomplete.
Might be calling a hot route. Lopez to pass. Fires to the wideout. That pass is incomplete.
And I tell you what, I know it's little when these QBs miss and the ball's not right to them, but man, it makes such a difference with yards after the catch, and in this case, even catching the football. It was just a little bit off, and it just made it a little bit difficult for his wide receiver to try to make the catch.
And this offense just has to find a way to convert this 3rd down, or else they are really in trouble. From the gun, wants to pass. Another incompletion on 3rd down.
And a really great job by the defense adjusting now, because on this drive, this quarterback has found his guy a few times, and now the defense is saying, we are double covering him. You might throw it somewhere else, but that guy is not going to make the catch.
Punt is in the air. Able to keep them from getting a return, and the ball goes out of bounds. They're going to mark it right around the 20. They'll snap it from the 20 for the opening play of this drive. To the air on 1st down. He wants to go deep. And he is finding wide open defenders all over the field. His 3rd interception of the day.
Are you kidding me? Lucky number 7. He's got 7 interceptions on the season, consistently around the ball. High IQ, breaks on the football great. This guy just makes play after play after play.
Time winding down in the quarter as they come to the line. Looking to throw on 1st down. Going deep. And that will be incomplete. Man, that would have been a big hitter if they could have done it, but 2nd down coming.
Yeah, taking the shot down the field. I love it. Offenses have to do that. A lot of times offenses get pretty conservative, but take deep shots down the field. Try to make those big plays. Trust your wide receivers and your big play guys to make those shots down the field.
Here comes the heat. And the pass falls incomplete, and we played 3. One more quarter to play, and it might be unlikely, but hey, it's college football. Comebacks happen.
North Carolina, 21.
After swapping ends of the field, they gave him a little time to figure out how they'll open the final period here on third down. Lopez wants to fire. That's reeled in. It's Shipp. Slips a tackle, and he's got room. He found plenty of room, and he gets it to the 39-yard line. They absolutely had to have that third down to keep any glimmer of hope alive.
And defensively, that's exactly what I want. Make you get the third down. The clock is your enemy. Multiple possession lead. That is right where I want this offense.
Wants to keep it in the air. And it's incomplete. If you're going to take a hit like that, you might as well hang on to the ball.
That's what I'm talking about. That is how you close. And when a guy's going to make a catch, you make sure he doesn't make it. Physicality, using your pads, running through them. And guess what? Not only this play doesn't feel it.
And the Heat gets home. They knock him down back at the 45.
Well, after having to punt on their last drive in the opponent's territory, it looked like things were finally going positively offensively this drive, and then it stalls out at the very end because they give up a sack. I think in critical down and distances, they just have got to be better with execution, making sure they have the right play call on and getting rid of the football on time. But back-to-back punts, no bueno for this offense.
It's so nice when you know it's third and long, you know a pass is coming, you worked on it all week, get your feet set at the sticks, understand that quarterback's got to be rushed, get him off of his spot. Nice execution by this defense.
Down in the fourth quarter, it's too late for empty possessions. They'll go for it on fourth down. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. It's incomplete, and they desperately needed to keep that drive going, and they couldn't make the connection.
In the situation we're in, down 2 possessions, they obviously had to go for that one. And because they're not able to come up with it, it looks like they're going to be leaving this stadium with an L.
So the first play of the drive, starting here from the 45. Quarterback flips it ahead quickly to the receiver. A solid pickup there before the defense is able to make the stop.
And these little touch passes, man, they're just the easiest completions ever for quarterbacks. Palmer, I bet you would have loved being able to just flip it forward. That counts as to your completion percentage, which is good. And then it's all run after the catch, so pretty easy for a QB.
You wouldn't have been the only All-American in this booth, David, if I were allowed to have push passes when I was playing quarterback. I'll tell you that. It is so hard to defend. It's so hard to seal that edge, especially when this guy's full speed ahead coming around the inside.
They bring him down, but the big play will move the sticks.
Well, it really just feels like they are trying to make a statement to everybody in college football. They've got a lead, they've got it late, and they are still putting it on this defense. They are still letting it fly. They're airing it out, trying to light up the scoreboard.
They'll spot the ball at the 12 after that completion.
You know what's interesting? At this point of the game, with the lead in the fourth quarter, the defense is expecting them to run the ball, and because they're putting so many guys close to the line of scrimmage, they're taking advantage, throwing it. 2 straight completions now back-to-back.
He's tackled right at the 10-yard line, and they're trying to cash in on this drive.
And this is a perfect situation. This is a situation, if you asked me to be in before the game, the coaches would have been in heaven. I got the football. I got the lead on their side of the field. Nice gain on first down. Same exact script. Do it again. Run the football, run the clock, let that thing tick down. And if we add points, we add points.
They're able to find the tight end for an easy completion, but good job tackling, not allowing him to get the first down.
They've got to come up with a big play on this third and long. To the air. It's Sayin. Oh, they're after him. Quarterback feeling the pressure, and down he goes at the 22.
Pretty nice as a defense, right? When you can go nickel, put 5 DBs on the field and not have to blitz anyone, trusting your front 4 to get the job done on third down, and they do it right there, getting the sack.
Splits the uprights. Good. And they'll push that lead out a little further. And for a quick update, let's go to Kevin Connors in the studio.
Week in and week out, guys, you never know what's going to happen in college football. Check this out. Wisconsin has the lead right now. Feels like Bucky's been doing his share of push-ups, but they haven't been able to pull away. They're up by 8 over Illinois. Any big developments in this one, we've got you covered with the best studio team in the business. Gentlemen.
Thanks for the update on that one, Kevin. Let us know when it goes final. Going right to work up top. He's going up top. And it's incomplete. They were looking for the huge gain on first down.
The defense is in great position right now because they've got a huge lead here in the fourth quarter. They know the offense has to take shots to try to get themselves back in the game. So they're calling their coverages accordingly, and there was nowhere to go with that football. Really nice job by the defense being in position to force the incompletion.
Going to sling it on second down. Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face third down. And now this offense will try to figure out a way to move the chains after that second down incompletion. On third and long, trying to have a big completion here. It's picked off, and another empty drive. He was looking for that big return to go with the pick, but he'll set him up in business at the 36.
This is a beautiful situation for the defense. When you're up by 2+ scores and you're in this situation, you know exactly what is coming. It's going to be a pass. They have to because the clock is their enemy. Great job playing pass, forcing the interception, almost putting the nail in the coffin.
And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage.
That back had absolutely nowhere to run the football. Actually, is he counting? I think he's counting to make sure there's only 11 guys on defense.
Got stuffed on first down. It's 2nd and 10. Now the play fake. He'll get rid of it. Complete to the right.
I think most offenses around the country in a situation like this with the lead late would be trying to run the football, right, or throw it short and try to bleed the clock. But this offense, man, it's still pedal to the metal. They're looking for chunk play opportunities.
Down to the 18-yard line. It's 1st and 10. They want that clock to run. An explosive play in the running game as he's got the first down.
And I think as a running back, if you're this guy, you're licking your chops right now. This is what you want, right? You've got a big lead in the fourth quarter, and you're smiling because you know you are going to get the rock. They're going to force feed you the football to try and ice this game, and he's paying him off right now. It's a really nice run.
And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play. Can the D deny them on 2nd and goal? He'll run it to the middle, looking for the end zone. Stopped in the backfield. He's going to lose 3 yards on the play.
And it's almost as if the defense knew that jet sweep was coming. Great job getting penetration at the point of attack. And they were in the backfield, nowhere for the receiver to go.
Runs through a tackle. They rode their running back, but he could not make it. It'll be 4th down. They've decided to try to go for the field goal here. Right on target the first time. Now he'll try another from 24 yards out. It's good, and that was dead solid perfect. And that lead grows even bigger. They're really starting to extend that lead as they get ready to kick it away again. Coming out with it, it's Robinson. Rolling the dice to bring it out of the end zone did not work out as he stopped at the 13. Opening play of this drive comes from the 13-yard line. Lopez to pass. Throws to the tight end. Good hands in there by the defense to force the incompletion.
Got to give this defense a lot of credit because even down to the last seconds in this football game, we're seeing outstanding effort. QB taking a shot down the middle of the field. There's a defender swatting it away. They have had this quarterback's number all game long, and that's why they're winning this game.
They'll go back to the air on second down. Here's a throw downfield late. And the incomplete pass taking a shot on second down, and they'll be left with a third down.
This was my favorite time to be a defensive lineman, man. You get up big, late in the game, you know it's past. You're just teeing off on the quarterback. The defensive backs, they're bailing, playing those deep passes. It is hard to play offensive football in this situation.
On third and long, he has to throw for it. Got a man. It's Johnson. That'll be good enough for a first down. They'll mark it at the 30.
And you got to love the versatility of the big fella. You can put him in the box and let him block big defensive linemen, or you put him in the slot and you throw him the football and have success.
Sends it back in motion. Looking to throw on first down. Throws for the tight end. Can't make the connection. The pressure there caused the mistiming.
At this point in the game in the fourth quarter, it is going to be tough for this offense to get some completions here because now, trailing by this much, the defense is expecting pass, and they're putting a whole bunch of extra DBs on the field to help them out in coverage.
He's taking a deep shot late in the game. What a spectacular grab there as they try to finish this game with a little something to feel good about.
You know, as the head coach of this team, this is one positive you're going to take away from this game, is that your players don't quit, and they're still willing to fight. There's obviously a lot of things they've got to iron out offensively, and we've seen that today. But I do love the grit they're showing here late, still trying to make plays.
Pressure coming. Just can't pull the trigger, and the quarterback is sacked at the 41.
It's pretty obvious. This defense came into this one knowing they were going to have to play a complete game until there were zeros on the clock, especially against this quarterback. You can't.
And the defense gets loose, bringing the heat, and down he goes again. Timeout on the field and 4 ticks left to go.
Timeout, North Carolina.
After this, it'll be a wrap.
White 53. White 56.
On third and long, you'll have to turn it loose deep. With the catch, it's Johnson. And that will be the final play as the clock strikes 0 here. Winning those individual 6-second battles every play, time after time after time after time, and that leads to a victory here.
And I love when teams go out and play like it's sudden death. Like if they lose the game, their entire season is over. This game wasn't for the national championship, but you wouldn't know that watching this winning team, David. Tremendous effort and tremendous execution.
I love competitive people. I love competitive coaches. I love competitive teams that they know that their job is to go out and get a W no matter where you play. You want to play in the parking lot? We'll go meet you. Great job by this team being ready, getting the W.
That will put the wrap on things from here. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis. You've been watching another presentation of EA Sports College Football. the toughest things to do in all of college football is win on the road. When you're a ranked team going into a hostile environment, these fans are ready to knock them off course. Welcome to Hattiesburg, Mississippi, the place they call the Rock and the home of the Southern Mississippi Golden Eagles. As we'll see a squad from the ACC, the East Carolina Pirates, taking on a team from the Big Ten, the Southern Mississippi Golden Eagles. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, joined here in the booth by David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. And guys, let's get this thing started. And the Golden Eagles will kick it away to start us off. Fielded in the end zone. It's Johnson. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. Knocked down behind the line of scrimmage, he'll lose a yard.
You see all this movement in football now, all the stemming, the defensive line, they're sliding right before the snap, creating confusion for the offensive line. Then they're moving back and stunting. Really good job by the defense. Continue to move, continue to stunt, continue to get in the backfield and make this life hard on this running back.
After getting knocked back to open this drive, it's 2nd and 12. To throw, it's Hauser. And that's not the way they drew it up. It's incomplete.
And most quarterbacks will tell you, if they start to drift and throw off their back foot, their balance isn't as good, and you're more inclined to miss like he did right there.
And the Pirates need their binoculars to find that line to gain here on 3rd down. From the gun, wants to pass. And the 3rd down pass incomplete after a good deflection by the defense.
And no surprise, this offense has their foot on the pedal, trying to take advantage of a defense that struggled in their last game. Obviously, they lost that one, but nice play early, swatting that ball away. That should help this defense's confidence.
Hunt is on its way. Coverage team able to put a stop to that return at the 42-yard line. A touchdown-saving tackle as he gets him down into the 37.
Well, that's why this running game can be so dynamic. This guy is special when he has the football in his hands. He can make people miss, he can run with power, and he also has speed. You saw it on that last play.
The Golden Eagles, after ripping off that huge run, let's see if they can do it again. Off the play fake on 1st down to throw. The short hands, it's Cutler. Just what this offense was looking for. Sets him up at the 26 with the 1st down.
And that's why they got to keep running the football, man, because play action is going to be a big part of this game plan. You've got to get this tight end over the middle of the field vertically and give him an opportunity, because you just saw how dangerous he is after the catch.
Down to the 26-yard line and a 1st down. Takes a handoff and he's going right. Works his way ahead for about 3 yards, stopped at the 23.
And that's a really nice play. It's impressive. When it's first down and the defense thinks you might be running the football, you still can line up. You can get some movement at the point of attack and find a little crease for your running back.
After the 3-yard pickup, they come to the line, 2nd and 7. Wants to go up top. Catch in the middle. It's Chapman. And he's almost to that first down marker there, saying he's a little bit short. They might want to bring out the sticks and measure, but it looks as if he'll be just short of the first down. And the Golden Eagles lining up, just needing a few tough inches on 3rd down. They'll send the back in motion. Looks as if they didn't get it off in time. It'll be a delay of game. The offense couldn't get the snap off in time, and it'll cost them. The Golden Eagles are facing 3rd and inches. The flag and another delay of game penalty. They do know there's a play clock up, right? The officials offer the deal, and the coach accepts it. They will take the penalty. They're close enough for a makeable field goal from the 26, but they'd love to convert this 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. Pulls it in. Rustled out of bounds at the 12, and another productive play on this drive.
Wow, and what a great job by that quarterback finding his open receiver on 3rd down. You know, guys, one of the most telling stats at the end of the game is 3rd down conversion percentage. If you're a great 3rd down team, it's invaluable to your offensive success, and that's why teams drill 3rd down so much in practice.
Looking to pass inside the red zone. He's got it on the run. That completion takes them down to the 7-yard line, and they are ready to strike.
And that's a good job by the drag route there, understanding its zone coverage. So instead of continuing to run across the field, he settles down into an open spot, making it easy for his quarterback.
2nd down coming up on this red zone opportunity.
Here we go.
Running back searching for a hole.
It's hard to run on a defense that comes off the ball like that and runs to the football like that. Good luck. No holes anywhere.
They'd love to pick up this 3rd down and get a fresh set with 1st and goal. On 3rd down, he drops to throw. And he will take it in. Touchdown, Southern Miss.
And this offense gets another passing touchdown. I tell you what, week 1, this connection worked. Week 2, this connection working again. I tell you what, if I'm a defense, I'm going to start focusing in on that guy because they want to find him and make big plays.
Setting up for the extra point after the first score of the game. And he's got the extra point, and it's 7-0 to start this one. A 69-yard touchdown drive, and they finish it with an 11-yard touchdown dart. No reason to risk trying to field that one as it skips through the end zone. It'll be a touchback. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. Wants to throw. It's Hauser. Gets it out fast.
Early in the game as a DB, I'm settling in. It's okay if I give up 4, 6, 7 yards. I'm just trying to get settled in, gauge the speed, and then later on, I can adjust to the speed of the game.
The Pirates with a 2nd and short to keep this drive moving. This is a designed run. Across the 45. Dragged down, but they'll move the sticks for a first down.
You know, you don't need to be an absolute blazer to have success running the football as a QB. You just need to know where to pick your spots, finding holes, reading blocks, falling forward. This quarterback does all of it.
A little wrinkle here as they go to the Wildcat and use the extra blocker. On the snap, it's Montgomery. Wildcat look didn't get much, picked up a few on that one.
And you want to run the football. That's okay. You'll take some of these. But if they start to add up down the road, obviously, you might want to think about airing it out a little bit.
Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Back to pass. Quickly out to the tight end. And the defense had that one well covered. Just a short gain there. Might be decision time if the defense can get a stop on 3rd down from the 45. From the gun, wants to pass. Fires to the big fella. There to make the tackle, and that's how we'll wrap up this first period. And they've swapped into the field, and we'll get it going in the second.
7, East Carolina, 0.
So after the break, they'll go back to work. On the ground, it's Montgomery. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage.
On the play.
Stopping the run is very high on every defensive coordinator's list. Making the team one-dimensional. Nice job stuffing the run on that play right there.
Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Going to try to get it himself. Great job by this savvy senior to know when he just needs to move the sticks with his feet. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. And the Pirates come to the line with a fresh set of downs. The toss to the outside. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. That defender reacted immediately when he saw the play and just set his hair on fire for the ball carrier.
And you got to see those plays. Those plays are very fast. It happens quick. There's no fake to a toss. It's pitched down the outside, trying to get to the wide side of the field. Great job by the defense. You got to set those edges by the defensive end, and everybody fly to the football.
Wide receiver comes in motion. Back to pass, it's Hauser. Gets it out quickly. He hauled that one in and got it down to the 15-yard line.
And I love when my quarterback sees zone and knows exactly where to go with the football. Sees the wide receiver running the drag route, knows when to throw it, pulls the trigger for the easy completion.
The Pirates are at the line looking to convert on 3rd and short. Grabbed in the backfield. It's Montgomery. Touchdown, ECU! Made the grab and took it on in for the score. Setting up for the extra point and the tie. That was an absolute sledgehammer of a drive, just taking the air out of the ball.
And it's hard when you run that many plays not to make a mistake and throw an interception or get penalties and put you in a bad spot. But the offense just strung play after play after play together and got in the end zone.
And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. Off the play fake on first down to throw. Can't hold on. He had it right down the middle, and he flat dropped it.
Ooh, there's an example, Jesse, of a receiver making his quarterback look bad. Most of the time, they make it look good and cover up for him. All those balls y'all don't throw online, but oof, that would hit him in a pretty good spot. He needs to come down with that one.
Try to make up for some of that lost ground on second down. Looking to fire. And he really needed to hold on to that one, but it was knocked loose, and third down is coming.
This defense has a lot of speed, especially in the secondary, and you saw that speed. That defender got to that receiver so quick, and because of the hit, incomplete pass.
They come to the line facing third and long from the 25. From the gun, wants to pass. Oh, and it's a pick. He threw it right into the double coverage. There he goes to the right. And they'll drag him down after a good return on the interception.
There were a lot of people really excited about what this guy could do. Some were saying he could be an All-American, and he's proving them right. That's already his second interception early in this college football season. Offenses are going to figure it out. They're going to stop throwing this guy's way. You just get in trouble when you try.
East Carolina has it back, and the Purple Pirate offense will go to work. He'll try the left side.
That's a fantastic play by the linebacker. He has such tremendous instincts. As soon as he sees run, he's coming downhill. He's got great speed. He gets you on the ground. That's why he's one of the best linebackers in the entire country.
Got 3 on first down. It's 2nd and 7. To the air, it's Hauser. Quickly complete. And they pick up just a few on that completion.
Defense has their hands full with this one. I know he's not the biggest guy playing the running back position right now, but they know he's going to be catching it too, and they're going to have to bring this guy down in space. In the passing game, they better make sure they get a lot of hats to the football. They've got their hands full.
Looking to throw on third. Got it in the middle. It's Smith. He'll come through on third down as he's got enough, and they'll mark it at the 23. And on that 3rd and short, I don't think he was unhappy to see that zone.
Nope, it's a great job by the offense. Hey, see where the holes in the zone are? Sit down. You only need a little bit of yards on this 3rd down. Get the conversion. Move the sticks.
And the Pirates will snap it on 1st and 10. The give to the back. And this one will be stopped for no gain.
Great team defense on that run play. Everybody doing their job. People winning their one-on-ones, D linemen staying in their gaps, linebackers and DBs filling. You just can't do it better.
They got nothing on the last play. It's 2nd and 10. Wants to go up top. We'll take a quick break here. 2 minutes to play in the first half. Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face 3rd down. Offense in a bunch formation. Back to throw, it's Hauser. Finds his big tight end. Defense makes a stop, but the chains move, and it's 1st and goal from the 8.
And it's on 3rd downs like this. If you want to attack the middle of the field, you got to look for the tight end. Really nice route. Great job looking that football in. You can tell this quarterback really has a lot of confidence when he's in the pocket looking for the big fella, and they're able to hook up there.
The Pirates will try to punch it in on 1st and goal. They want to throw it. And it's picked off at the goal line. That's one way to make a stop. Inside the 40. The 30. The 10. Touchdown, Southern Mississippi. The defense gets it done with that huge interception return.
How oftentimes can you say that there is a safety who's the most dangerous guy on the field with the ball in his hands? Did you see that guy and his ability in the open field once he picked it off? There was nobody on offense even coming close to getting that guy down. What an athlete.
He'll try to tack on one more. And the extra point is true, and they're on top by 7. Let's go to the studio now and check in with Kevin Connors. Kevin, what do you got?
Guys, let's get you up to speed on what's going down in this fun college football game today. New Mexico State is ahead of this one. This team plays a hard-nosed brand of football there in Las Cruces, but they're a long way from closing this out. They're up by 7 over the Groupers. We'll circle back if anything changes in this exciting college football matchup.
And how about that one? Kevin will be keeping an eye on everything going on elsewhere. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. A little bit backed up to start this drive from their own 18-yard line. Looking to pass. It's Hauser. It's complete to the right. He's brought down quickly. Minimal gain there. Still a bit short of the 1st down. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. And the Pirates can really attack on this 2nd and short. They'll move the wide receiver. To the air on 2nd down. Grabbed in the middle. It's Smith. He's brought down, but it'll be enough for a 1st down.
Nice job by the receiver there, running the drag route against zone coverage, finding the soft spot, making it easy on his quarterback to get the completion. He turns it upfield, and he moves the sticks.
They'll snap it from the 39, 1st and 10. Wants to go up top on 1st down. Nowhere to go with the ball, and down he goes at the 39. Not sure exactly what led to that, whether the protection wasn't right or the quarterback just didn't see it, but the result was a negative play and a sack.
But one thing I do know is that quarterback had no chance to get that ball downfield. That pocket was breaking down, and it was breaking down quickly. There were just too many bodies in that backfield for the QB to make anything happen.
Back to throw, time running short in the half. The short hands, it's Smith. And they'll stop him just short of the 1st down, just inches away from moving the sticks.
And I think this receiver's forte is his route running. He's a guy that can line up all over the field, but it's not just catching post routes and goes. This guy can run shallows, he can run slants, he can run the option routes and find soft spots in the defense. This guy really has all the routes in his toolbox.
Man, the evolution of the quarterback position. Basically, you should call them running backs who throw the ball really well now.
And guys, you know the other thing that happens here is that sets up the next play because you've sort of left the defensive line gassed trying to run down the quarterback.
Oh, you got to be in shape, chasing him around all day on design runs, on scrambles, and, you know, it's just, and the +1 advantage you get by having that guy. It's just, it's so hard to defend.
Dropping back, it's Hauser. They're working that left side. All the way down to the 27-yard line before they get him out of bounds, and this offense is threatening.
Real smart play. Great job. Get the positive yards, and then get your booty out of bounds.
The Pirates getting set on 1st and 10. Looking downfield on 1st down. And this will be incomplete. A big hit there forces 2nd down.
I know one of the things this defense really prides themselves on is being physical, and early in this game, putting a big hit on a guy that's already had a couple catches in this game, that's a good omen for the defense.
So now it's 2nd and long. Looking to go up top, and time's running out in the half. He's got him this time. He's there to make the stop, but not before. He sets up this offense first and goal from the 7. Here's a timeout on the field. Tight game here late in the first half. Just a few seconds remaining here as they try to put something up before halftime. He'll set up to throw. Going for 6. It falls incomplete. He was trying to find his man for 6.
We just have not seen this offense look very sharp so far in this game, running or throwing it. In the second half, throwing it specifically, I think they need to find a better rhythm. They've got to find a way to get some completions strung together.
Defense rose up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a 2nd and long coming. Dropping back, it's Hauser. Pass is incomplete, and we dwindle down to 7 seconds.
The offense just has not been able to find a way to get their rhythm going here in the first half. We just haven't seen it in the passing game. That was a really good example of it again. If they're going to score more points in the second half, they've got to make some adjustments here.
And he's on his way. He'll go all the way. Touchdown, East Carolina.
Man, that was beautiful clock management. Great job by this offense, sustaining the drive, not getting too much in a panic, and finishing the drive with a touchdown with not a lot of time on the clock.
They're getting set to kick it away, and that last score took a little oomph out of this crowd. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. Just enough time to get one more snap before the half. Handoff to the single running back. At the 35, he's loose. They'll knock him down, and that'll take us to halftime. That's the end of the second quarter. That means it's time to join Kevin and our halftime update. And the Pirates will kick it away to start the second half. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. They keep it on the ground to open the third. Finds Zach Freese, and he's got 4 out to the 29.
See, they need more runs like that. It's been so few and far between. Defensively, they've been in position. They've been winning their one-on-one battles, getting off of blocks and rallying to the ball carrier. This defense has done a nice job slowing down the run game thus far.
Got it in the middle. It's Page. They knock him down, but he's got enough to get it across the line and pick up the first down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Back in motion, try to clear the picture. Wants to throw on first down. Pulls it in, it's Page. And just a short, safe pass play, they pick up a few.
This quarterback right now is in a groove, and he's doing a nice job in pre-snap. He's reading the coverage, and he's getting an idea of where he wants to go with the football. That's why the ball's coming out of his hands so quickly. That's why he seems like he's in a great rhythm right now.
Fires to the middle. And he was flat, missed him. Sometimes you see a guy, he's open, and you try to baby it too much, and it was a bad throw.
And you see those balls in practice sometimes. They're just off the mark. You don't know how to control it. You don't know what goes wrong, but sometimes QBs miss, and it's an incompletion.
Here they come, facing 3rd and long from the 40. He wants to change this route. They just keep firing. Under fire. Blasted as he lets it go.
You knew this first possession of the second half. It goes a long way in deciding who's going to win this football game. It's tied, but this defense comes out. Great job setting up a 3rd and long, getting a stop, getting the ball right back to their offense to create some early momentum.
They boot it away on 4th down. Not able to pop the big return, but they've got the ball back and ready to go with a fresh possession.
Returners don't get many shots, right? Like, they only get a few shots a game. They want to maximize it. You're not going to get any shots if you don't secure the football. You got to take care of the football, big fella.
They'll crank up this drive from the 30-yard line. Dropping back, it's Hauser. A beautifully placed ball to the outside and the toe drag for the big pickup.
And I love the awareness by the wide receiver on that play because I'm not sure that route was supposed to be that deep. You got to wonder if the receiver decided maybe to adjust the route a little bit to make sure that he got the first down.
Now on 1st down from the 43-yard line. Can't find a man, and he'll be knocked down at the 40.
This offense is going to have to come up with a plan to block this guy. He is an absolute monster, and he showed you all his tools on that sack.
The Pirates with a long way to go after the loss on the last play. 2nd down, they'll go to the air. Snagged in the middle, it's Smith. And he's wrestled to the ground.
My old coach said you'll never go broke taking a profit. Take what's there, take the positive yards, and never complain.
And the Pirates are at the line looking to convert on 3rd and short. They want to run this quarterback. He gets it oh so close to the 1st down marker, but I think he's going to be a touch short.
You know, I really like this QB running the football because I know he's got a lot of speed, but he's not the biggest guy in the world. So he's not going to be able to break a lot of tackles. You really got to do a good job of trying to scheme ways to get him out in more space.
The Pirates will go for it on 4th down. A run for the quarterback. Hard running there. Really good surge for this offense. They move the chains, and he's got it at the 34.
Well, there you're seeing the mentality of this head coach in the game, going for it on 4th down. A lot of guys would have tried to kick a field goal, but I think this guy knows, hey, we're not going to win this game putting threes up on the board. We need touchdowns. Nice attitude.
And the Pirates are moving quickly down the field. Quick handoff. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage.
Well, they want to come out and try to get the run game established, but up front defensively, they made a play. They gave up nothing on that one.
Got to find some breathing room if you're going to establish yourself on the ground, and there wasn't any that time.
Yeah, Reese, I wonder now if this offense is maybe going to try to get to the perimeter of the field and see if they can use their speed to hurt this defense.
They couldn't connect on 2nd down, now staring at a 3rd and 9. Back to throw, it's Hauser. Intercepted, big play, stops the drive.
And what a play by the defender. He's on an island all by himself in cover 1 man coverage. Just him and the wide out, and he ends up winning, coming up with a big INT.
They'll start this drive from their own 35-yard line. The give to the tailback. They'll wrestle him down just short of the 1st down. I don't even think they're going to bring out the change to measure this one?
Man, when I can run the football like that on first down and create second and inches and stay way ahead of the sticks and be in a position now where I can throw the football or run, I will have a lot of success on the offensive side of the football.
And the Golden Eagles have their whole playbook open here on second and inches, finding open areas.
And this is a guy that can find you the hidden runners. That play, he just pushes the pile to get that first down.
They'll line up right at the 48-yard line on 1st and 10. Use the play fake, now to throw. Pulls it in, it's Briggs. He'll go out of bounds inside the 40. They'll mark it at the 39.
Running backs are wide receivers. They do such a great job nowadays out of the backfield. All you got to do, dump it to him. Get it to him quick, and he'll make the rest happen with his running back skills. But they do so much work with wide receivers in practice that they basically have become wide receivers now.
Looking to the big tight end. He's got it. And he's brought down after a nice gain.
They say tight ends are a quarterback's best friend in the pass game because think about it. The tight end's the guy lined up closest to the quarterback, which means generally those are the easiest throws a quarterback has. You saw it on that play.
The Golden Eagles come to the line with a new set of downs. To the air on 1st down. Bring in the heat. And the quarterback will take a sack back at the 36.
Well, you got to give this defense credit. They have hemmed him in all game. There has been nothing for this guy running the ball, whether it's been designed QB runs or on scrambles, and a nice job there with great effort. Taking the angles away, they're able to hone in on him and get him down for a massive loss on that sack.
Wants to fire on 2nd down. And the pass is incomplete thanks to a big hit. And the Golden Eagles are in a mess here on 3rd and a mile.
29 Philly. 2-9 Philly.
He's looking downfield to throw. It's picked off, and they ruin the drive with a turnover. He couldn't quite get loose on that return, but he'd already made the play, and they've got it at the 35.
And this guy's showing off his hands again, understanding where the football's going. He breaks on the football so quick. And guess what? He makes plays when he breaks on it. That's 2 interceptions here through 3/4 of a football game.
First play of this drive comes from the 35-yard line. Looking for a man. It's Hauser. He's got him in the flat. Oh, he's got some space. He puts him in business across the 50 into the 46-yard line. It'll be 1st down. We've swapped sides of the field, and we are ready for the finish as the 4th quarter gets underway. So 1st down will open up the final period. This junior making his presence felt and making the stop after a short gain.
That's a really good job by the defense, wrapping them up, getting them on the ground, take away that run game, make them one-dimensional, put them in passing situations. Really good job by the defense.
Picked up 2 yards on that last one. They need 8 on 2nd down. Back to pass. Catch in the middle, it's O'Brien. And the big fella couldn't elude the quarterback who makes a sure tackle.
It's so important that this offense is able to stay on schedule. And what that means is keeping third downs manageable. That last completion to the tight end accomplished just that. Really nice play.
The Pirates will move the sticks with the first down. So they move the sticks on the run. Let's see what they do with this one. Looking to throw on first down. Caught over the middle. It's Smith. And he's brought down after a nice gain.
Let's not complicate this. My man is better than your man. Find your matchups and go get them.
They've moved it to the 19. First and 10. From the red zone, looking for a man. Quick strike complete. Touchdown, Pirates! And they grab the advantage, taking the lead here in the fourth.
Well, when you've got a quarterback that has this type of ability, there's no question what your strategy is going to be week in, week out, right? They want to throw the football. They want to hurt you with their ability to push it downfield through the air. 3 passing TDs in this one already.
The extra point is good, and now in the fourth, they're up by a touchdown and an extra point. We check in with Kevin Connors. What's going on, Kevin?
All right, guys, a little update on what else is happening in college football this weekend. Temple is getting dominated today, and, you know, the folks in Philly deserve better than this. No excuse ever for this kind of a clunker.
Looks like he's going to bring it out. And the returner will be brought down. A lot of field in front of them as they open this possession from their own 20. Starts a drive, trying to go up top. Grabbed over the middle. It's Chapman. And he's knocked down immediately, but not before he moves the chains.
Well, this offense knew coming into this game they wanted to try to attack the middle of the field in the passing game, and they're able to execute the in route there.
Lining up from the 34 on first down. Looking to throw on first down. Dances away. Quarterback feeling the pressure, and down he goes at the 22.
This defense continues to do a great job of not letting a great athlete at quarterback make big plays on them. Great job pursuing him, keeping him in that cage, not letting him get out in the open field because we know he can do some damage. Nice job by this defense so far.
Unloads to the wideout. And he throws his third pick of the day. His head has to be spinning. Good gain on the return, and this defense has set them up with a big play.
How do you not get excited and out of your seat when you... The big boys making the little boys play. Listen, I know you DBs can do all that running around stuff and catch the football. I can too. I just do it in a sexier, bigger body. Yes, please.
East Carolina sending the offense back to work. The handoff keeps working on that clock. Blast is way ahead, but not much room. A pickup of 1 to the 24.
And I like the first thought process right here. Run the football. We want to run that clock with the lead. Thank you to the defense for forcing that turnover, setting us up. Now if we can put a few first downs together, we're looking really good.
After picking up a couple, it's 2nd and 8. Now on the move. Tough run, gets it into the red zone, and they've knocked him down at the 17.
And that quarterback can go. Just another guy in another system all across college football. All quarterbacks nowadays, they got so much speed, it's ridiculous.
Man, I'm telling you, that has to be exhausting for the defensive lineman trying to chase down guys like that.
It's silly because even when it's a design play and it's a design run like here, fine. But then it's scramble plays and then it's passing plays. He's always a runner, just exhausting.
And the Pirates are at the line looking to convert on 3rd and short. Calls his own number. Picks up enough to give them 1st and 10 from the 11.
Sometimes as a quarterback, you just need to take the game over yourself. You need points to win, and it's going to come down to you throwing it or maybe running it like you just saw there to get that done.
The Pirates have it with a 1st and 10. Quarterback running on the draw. How about that defense getting back there? He'll lose a couple.
And after that negative play on offense with the lead late in the game, I think there's still ways that you can be creative and run the football, but not be so obvious. So zone read type plays, fake dives and pitches to the running back to get him outside, jet sweeps. You can find other ways to keep the clock moving, even though the defense knows you're going to run it.
Going to work in the red zone, they can't pick up the 1st down without getting it into the end zone. Trying to move them on the counter. And he's stuffed by that big defensive tackle up front.
I think if you're offense here, the game boils down to this one play on 3rd down with the lead late. If you get the 1st down, that's ball game. There's not enough time left for the defense to get it back and go march down the field. So let's dial up our best play offensively. Let's make sure our best players are touching the football here.
And the Pirates are way behind the sticks on this 3rd and forever. And the defense is swarming to keep him from getting to the 1st down.
You know, this offensive line, they just got to hold their blocks a little bit longer. This offense likes to run their quarterback on design plays. If you can just give them a little crease, he can take it the distance, but they couldn't get it done there.
Quick timeout called by the defense, stopping the clock to save as much time as possible for their offense. So on 4th down, here comes the field goal kicker in a huge spot.
You know, it's funny, in an age where there's so many college football analytics and everybody wants to go for it on 4th down, at the end of the day, it still comes down to managing the game. Good decision by the head coach here in the 4th quarter. By kicking that field goal, you've now made it a 2-possession game. Your chances of winning this thing have now gone way up.
He'll bring it out. It's Gray. Not nearly as much as he'd hoped when he brought it out of the end zone. He'll be stopped at the 15. This drive will open from the 15. Gonna run it. It's Briggs. They'll pick up 4, 2nd and 6 coming.
Really nice play call by the offense, too. Obviously, your quarterback's thrown picks on his last 2 drives, so you have to settle him down. And the best way to settle down a quarterback is to get the running game going. Put it on the big fellas up front. Put it on your backs. That's a really nice run, and that should help settle the QB down a bit.
This junior making his presence felt and making the stop after a short gain.
And that run really didn't go anywhere. And a lot of times we don't focus on it enough, but how important those 5 guys are up front. To get on those defensive linemen, to try to move them out of the way, to get a run game going, it squarely falls on the shoulder of those 5 offensive linemen.
That'll be good enough for a 1st down. They'll mark it at the 30. Defense will use a timeout. 22 seconds remaining in the game. Maybe this will breathe a little life into this offense, which has been flatlined in the 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. The give. Find some fresh air. It's runs like that can really help your field position as they're up at the 35. The Golden Eagles want to crank the tempo. The give to the left. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play. All business today for this ball club. They come out and they get the win.
And that's all that matters. It's not always pretty. You don't always do everything you want to do or check all the boxes. But at the end of the game, Jesse, you want that W.
No doubt about it. They made the plays they needed to make in order to get this win. I thought the quarterback showed tremendous poise, good leadership throughout the course of the game. Defense made stops when they had to make them. So, right, there were some things they were going to need to clean up moving forward, but ultimately they were the better team today.
Thanks so much for spending some time with us. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis, and this has been another presentation of EA Sports College Football.